Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to thank you for the opportunity given to watch our presentation. Hi friend, this presentation will discuss the economic talk of Ghazali, Ibnu Taimiyah, and Ibnu Rusyd. Before we start the presentation, let me introduce myself and my partner. I am Sholehah Desyanti from class F of the Sharia Economic Study Program, and my partner Muhammad Akmal Rafi from class F of the Sharia Economic Study Program. Okay, now for the first presentation from Akmal. Please, Akmal.
Okay, thank you. The first is economic talk according to Ghazali. Biography. He used to be full name Abu Hamid Muhammad bin Muhammad al-Kursi al-Ghazali. He got the name Hujatul Islam, which Ibnu Taimiyah, or what we usually call defender of Islam. He was born in the small town of Niran, born in 450 Hijriah, which at the time was the reign of the Abbasid Young State. Al-Ghazali was very fond of science. We can prove that when he was a child, he studies Arabic and also studied fiqh in the city. Then continue to study the basic of fiqh clause in the city of Jurnal. Then the man continue his scientific rihlah to Naisabur. Then he visit the city of Baghdad, namely the capital of Abbasid state, and met a figure named Wasir Nizam al-Mulk, teacher at Madrasah Nizamiyah, which is a high school in the city of Baghdad itself, which was found by Wasir al-Obligatory Nizam al-Mulk event. Al-Ghazali economic too. It has a concept related to social welfare function of Islam. The topic is social benefit or welfare or utility or the common good. Here are some names that are self-taught. The first is voluntary exchange and market revolution. The first is supply and demand. The prevailing price advantage is determined by market practice that have become a threat to welfare. The threat of fair price among Muslim and the equilibrium price balance among contemporary Europe scientists. Manufacturing is divided into three groups. The first group is basic industry, namely industry that support the survival of community. The second group is supporting activities, namely complementary activities, complementary to basic industry. And the third group is related to the core complementary activities that are related to the basic industry. Then the states of production are interrelated between introduction and various community. There is a division of labor, coordination and cooperation. Kiran tema. The third is barter and the evolution of money. The problem are found and the need for money itself. It lacks a denominator, and goods cannot be divided and must have the same desire. Then the next, it is prohibition of hoarding money. Because of the inflation is the prohibition of counterfeiting and the decline in the value of money and the prohibition of usury because usury is sin.
Okay, next, economic talk according to Ibnu Taimiyah. Born in Haran, which is now Turkey, on Monday, 10 Rabiul Awal 661 Hijriah, or 1263 Masehi. Ibnu Taimiyah, whose full name was Ahmad was Azim Abu al-Abbas bin Ar-Ashik Sihab ad-Din Abdurrahim Abdul Halim bin Al-As Ad-Fin Moskri Abi Al-Barkat Abdul Salam bin Abdul Muhammad Abdullah Yinib Al-Qasim Al-Qadir bin Ali bin Abdullah. Ibn Taimiyah was raised in a religious family and upholds intellectual values, so that at the age of seven he became a memorized of the Quran and became an expert in several sciences, such as the interpretation of hadith, fiqh, usul fiqh, Arabic history, algebra, Christology, logic, and the science of comparative religion. Ibn Taimiyah was born at a time when Islam was experiencing the disintegration of social problems, of moral and moral decadence. He also acted as an activist who faced physical enemies of thought and movement. Monday night, 27 Qadar, year 729 Hijriah. Some of Ibn Taymiyah's works include Al-Fatawa Compound, Two Darul Atsar, Arud al-Aqal Wanakil Minhaj As-Sunnah An-Nabawiyah, Kasih al-Responding al-Zahir, Liman Ba'zim al-Masih, and Syarah Gabriel Hadis. Next. Ibn Taymiyah economic thought. Several concepts of his economic thought were developed, such as the market mechanism. The price he took according to him, prices are determined by the force of demand and supply. The rise and fall of price is not determined by the unfair action of some people involved in transaction. The second is a fair market. Ibn Taymiyah has offered the concept of complete freedom to enter and exit the market, but when there is an unjust action. The definition of a fair price, Ibn Taymiyah defines this profit as normal profit, which is generally obtained from the certain type of trade. That is the main purpose of a fair price, to enforce justice in exchange, transaction, and various other relationships among members of society. Then there is money and monetary policy. Inflation. The second is the loss of public confidence in the stabilization of the value of money, which will prevent people from entering into more long-term contracts. First, the fixed income segment of society or such as civil servant. The third, domestic trade will decline because it involves the stability of the value of money. The fourth is international trade will decline. The fifth is precious metals will flow abroad. Next.
Third, economy talk according to Ibn Rusyd. Ibn Rusyd, or his full name Abu al-Walid Muhammad Ibn Ahmad Ibn Muhammad Ibn Rusyd, or what if often called Averroes, come from Arab descent, born in Andalusia. Ibn Rusyd was born in Andalusia or Spain, precisely in the city of Cordoba, 526 Hijriah. He was born and raised in a family of jurists. Ibn Rusyd lived in a tumultuous political situation. He was born during the reign of Al-Murafi'ah, which was overthrown by Al-Muhadi'ah group in Marukusi in 542 Hijriah, who conquered Cordoba in 543 Hijriah. As an Islamic philosopher in the Western Islamic world, Ibn Rusyd has also made a work in his writings. Ibn Rusyd works really take a point of view towards philosophy. Among his work are Tahafut, At-Tahafut, His al-Mahal fi ma bain al-Hikmat al-Syariah, min al-Ittishal al-Kashifan, Manahij al-Adilat fi Aha'id al-Milad, dan Badiyat al-Mujtahid wa Nihayat al-Muhtasid.
Ibn Rusyd, Islamic economic thought. Ibn Rusyd at 1126 until 1198 Masehi. the law of cause and effect in symptom natural, and socio-economic laws of demand and supply developed by subsequent scientists. The higher the level of the living being, said Rusyd, the higher the variety of activities including consumption and production and work. Society was divided into two groups, the elite consisting of philosophers and the civil society inspired Karl Marx class theory.
One, mudorobah in Ibn Rusyd view. Two, legitimacy of the mudorobah agreement. Three, mudorobah investment capital. Four, form of mudorobah covenant. In his writing, Ibn Rusyd briefly touched on this subject, like other legal scholar of the Maliki and Shafi'i school. 5. Compromise financing and distribution, the majority of legal scholars. 6. Economic causality, Ibn Rusyd. 7. Monetary function. On the other hand, Ibn Rusyd argues against.
Okay, we are finished our presentation. Thank you very much for your great attention, and hopefully everything we share is useful all for us. Thank you, Akmal.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, made that money on a Monday. Yeah, ratchet bit on a runway.